Last May 5, I finally stepped out of the house to deal with some errands that I have been putting off for days and days. It's not a lot, actually. I try my best not to have anything much to do, but these are the things that need to get done. Some are urgent and some are not, but I thought since I'm already out, I might as well try to get to the non urgent ones as well, so I won't have to deal with them in the future. The first errand was to mail out a notebook at JRS Express, and it was a quick task because there was only one customer, which was me, because it was quite early in the day. Next, I drove to Delovino Woodcraft because I needed a new light stand for filming my over the desk videos for my YouTube channel. I have been using those small wooden rigs for a few months that I had made here, and they kind of messed with the height and placement of my current lighting, so I thought I might as well get a new one. But this time I will not make the light stand myself. I do have a video of myself making my current light stand, which I will link down below, and these are the measurements of the new light stand. The foreman said that I can pick it up after about a week. Next, I had to go to a bank and there was no parking available there. So I parked in the parking lot of the shopping mall that is almost across the street from the bank that I needed to go to. It is a short walk, but it is kind of a hot day. Our weather bureau has already officially announced that our country will be experiencing El Nino, which is a weather phenomenon that carries an increased chance of drought. It's already been super, super hot for more than a month now, and we are told that this hot weather is going to persist until around September. And people are having a hard time with this weather, really, myself included. And this is the bank. I just have a super quick matter to deal with here, and I was given this number, which is under the priority lane because I am a person with disabilities, so I didn't have to wait long for my turn. And the transaction didn't last long either. After about 20 minutes, I already got what I needed from the bank, and then I walked back to my car. Up next, I went to SM, which is a shopping mall, because I needed to buy two things here. One was a bottle of black ink for my inkjet printer, and I dropped by Cyberzone because there are stores here that carried stuff for computers, but the stores here did not have the black ink. So I decided to go to National Bookstore because I knew that they carried printer ink, even though it is slightly more expensive. And also because I needed some more of the 160 GSM Bavania Splendor gel paper that I have been using both for myself, for my own pages for my daily planner, and also for the bound notebooks that I make for other people. I have a video review about the 160 GSM Bavania Splendor gel paper, and I will link it down below. Now, the Bavania is usually available in National Bookstore right here. We have only two National Bookstore branches in our city. One is here in SM and the other one is in Robinson's Mall, but the National Bookstore in Robinson's does not have the Bavania, so I'm always stuck buying them here. But it turns out that they only had the Bavania 160 GSM in the short size, or the US letter size, which is 8.5 by 11 inches. And that's fine for my own planner pages. However, I needed the long size, or the 8.5 by 13 inches, for making the bound notebooks, and they did not have that anymore. They used to have a lot of it here, but all of a sudden they're out. They have other versions of the Bavania paper, but those are not what I need. So I ended up with just 5 packs of the US letter-sized Bavania 160 GSM. And also, National Bookstore did not have the black printer ink that I needed, so I ended up buying only the paper. However, as a last attempt to find the printer ink here so as to avoid having to drive around in the hot sun. I decided to try the office supplies section of the department store, and they had the printer ink in stock, and it is a relatively new stock as well. So I'm happy. Next, I had to pick up some of my results from this medical facility. I am actually parked at the back of the building because there was no available parking slots in the front. So the exterior of this building right here at the back does not look too snazzy. And it is also labeled with the old name. It used to be Mother Seton Hospital. It is now called the Universidad de Santa Isabel Health Services Department, at least from what's on all of their stationery and documents and receipts. And it was getting to be a little too hot for me because it was nearing noon, but I still tried to do one more task, which was to go to this shopping mall again for one single thing. I needed to go to Hong Enterprises because I needed a sheet of thick, clear plastic. Hong is really quite full of stuff, and they even have curtains. Some of the solid color ones and the ones with the classic subdued prints look pretty decent. They don't look too bad, but they are not blackout curtains. These tassels look posh when viewed from afar, but if you hold them, they're not of very good quality. Finally, here are the plastic sheets. Different thicknesses are available, and I picked up the 14 gauge one. I bought only 1 meter of it, which cost 101 pesos, and I needed to cover the surface of my work desk for when I am making notebooks because I sometimes spill glue and I didn't want to ruin my black surface, so I cover it with a plastic sheet. And after that, I started feeling a little woozy. So I decided to just drive home because it was already around lunchtime anyway. I was already done dealing with the urgent matters like the JRS mailing and the black printer ink and the results from the hospital. One task was actually rescheduled, so I didn't have to deal with it on this day. So only one urgent task remained, but that is scheduled for later. For now, I just needed to get home and get some reprieve from the heat and the sun. And also because Jawad has messaged me to say that he has dropped off some food for me at home, which he cooked specially for me. And that is lapu-lapu fish with tausi sauce and black beans. Jawad knows I like tausi sauce, and I also do not like sweet and sour sauce. We had some sweet and sour meatballs at a restaurant the previous day, and I kept telling him that I have forgotten that I didn't like sweet and sour sauce on anything. So he made this for me, and it's really good. The food is really good that I forgot to take videos of it. Just this one photo which I sent him. I ate all of the food. By the way, I ate all of it myself. And then I took a nap, finally, because I really was not feeling too well. Late that afternoon, I went to the one last urgent task, which was to go to this building here where my doctor holds his clinic and show him the results of the tests that he requested. And there are always a lot of patients waiting for their turn at his clinic, so I always ask his secretary to list me as the last patient for the day. That way I don't have to go early. I can just come here when it's late afternoon or early evening. And while waiting, I finally got to continue reading this book on my Kindle. Sorry for all of the roosters that you're hearing. It is 3:30 in the morning, so they're all up. And this book that I'm reading on my Kindle is Walden by Henry David Thoreau, and it is quite wonderful. I am enjoying reading it in my leisure time, but lately I have been terribly busy, so actually I do appreciate the time that I spent waiting for my turn at my doctor's clinic because it allows me to read. I finally got my turn, and he said all of my tests were normal and I am fine. And he gave me the prescription for my maintenance medications, plus told me to get a TSH test in August, which is for my hypothyroidism. And this cat was blocking the exit, and it would not move to let me pass, so I had to go around it. What a diva. And then after the doctor, I went to Joe White's house because he also prepared dinner for me. This time it's malasugi fish in a different sauce. This is no longer tausi sauce, but it is also very good. And he also cooked basmati rice for me. So the errands on a hot day went pretty surprisingly well, despite the oppressive heat, because I took it easy and did not push for 100%. Some things did not get done, but those are not urgent. We do not need to be 100% all the time. Some days it's all right to let things slide.